And now, this world shall know pain. Almighty push.
What's going on, Digimon? It's your boy True Pin Game back at it again with another video today. Today we have a red Gallantmon deck profile and tournament overview with you guys. Stay tuned until the end of the video for a Digimon update. Digimon giveaway update. There we go. So this was the Gyro-Sean, Omnimon, and On playmat tournament. Top 4 got the playmat that you see a lot of the YouTubers having with the Omnimon on. It looks really cool. I placed 16th with red Gallantmon. I honestly thought I was going to get 10th bubble again, so I'm not as mad with 16th as I would have been with 10th bubble. Because my first place loss went undefeated till the final round, and then he got 4th. So we were super close to getting 10th place bubble again, but what can you do? So round 1 I played against Green, Clutch. Huge shout out to Clutch. He was the only game today where I think I lost, and I didn't. It wasn't because I misplayed. Like, he 2-0'd me pretty easy. Every game he got Mimi turn 1 or 2. So he was just able to accelerate it over and then like suspend my stuff and just break my board super easily. And he had a lot of flower cannons. So good job, Clutch. Good job getting 4th place, man. Proud of you. We said it in our round that if one of us won, we'd take it all the way so the others good tiebreakers. And you did that, bro. I think that was the highest playing 2-2, placing 2-2. So we'll see. Round 2, I lost to I 2-0'd a red mirror. He was on stream, so I was watching the stream after my games had ended, and I saw Gallantmon, so I thought it was a mirror. But then when I played him, he never actually played Gallantmon. He only played the War Greymon, like the option denier. So I think it was just good stuff red. But yeah, I 2-0'd him. That was a pretty quick game. Round 3. I believe I played 2. Yeah, okay, so I played Blue Omni round 3. It was I won 1 and he won the other 2. Game 1 was super fast. He just obliterated me, blew me out of the water. Game 2, game 1 I won. Game 1 I went second because he went first. I won, and then game 2 he opted for me to go first. And it was super close. It pretty much came down to if he drew a blocker or not, which he did, and then passed, and then my game was pretty much just over at that point. And then game 3 again, super close thing, I believe. Yeah, so game 3 he played a blocker. He digivolved into a blocker, and it actually almost cost him the game, but I lucked out, and the security check killed my my volcanic on security checks. No, my metal Tyranno had 2 security checks and it killed him. So that was pretty tragic. Otherwise it would have been a game. But he also misplayed because I was at when he digivolved into the blocker. If he had swung with what he digivolved into, he would have won, but he didn't. So that was a bit weird. So that was 2-1 against Blue Omni, and then the following game was 2-0 against Blue Omni. So I had 2, he had 0. Game 1, I pretty much just built a board really quick, and I opened 2 Gaia Force, so every time he brought out something big, it died. And then I believe I Gallantmon his Monze too, to pretty much just seal the deal. And then game 2 was essentially the same thing. So overall, I think that there's at least one more round I probably could have placed higher. But we'll never know. So, huge shout out to Max Tapera and Gyro-Sean for hosting this tournament. Let's just hop into the deck profile now. So, starting with eggs, we run 2 Yokomon, 3 Koromon. Looking back, I'd probably play 4 Yokomon, 1 Koromon. Because, like, I always do have a lot of Digivolution sources, but this would come up more against blockers. So this spread isn't bad because you're ramping up a lot anyways. You might as well just use these. So that's it for my eggs. Pretty generic. Next we have our options for Gaia Force. Best option card in the game. This card literally defines games. I don't know what else there's to say about that. I opted to play 4 Tie. Purely because I don't really like security checks that much. Even though I get really big, I don't want to security check a whole lot because I don't want my stuff to die more, you know? I just want my stuff to be bigger. So I like these ties because they do give you the buff. However, I think a 2-2 split is probably better just because this deck, if it gets memory starved, really, really like... it feels bad. Like, again, this deck's worst matchup is green because they are able to swarm the board so much and give you so little memory. Like, Blue Omni, this deck has a super fantastic matchup against because you have the... they give you a bunch of memory anyways, and then you have all the outs to their boards. So we got the ties to give us some power to swing over omnis. Like, okay, guys, no cap. Well, let's get on to the sixes. This card's MVP. Oh yeah, I'm not playing Omnimon, by the way. Omnimon would have been helpful, but they are in the mail, so I don't know what to tell you. They're coming in Monday, so we'll have Omnimons then. But this card, I wouldn't cut it for the world. Like, originally when I was building this, I said, okay, these will be my 2 Omnis. No, these will not. This card is awesome. It lets you... It's really cheap, so, like, if your opponent gives you, like, 4 memory, right? Like, they pass, you... And you have, like, one of these and, like, all the right Digivolves in your hand. Like, you put them to 2, pass on this. And you have a 12k body, and then if you have a Coromon, it's 13, and then if you have at least one tie, it's 14, and then if you have an Agumon, it's 15. Then if you have a Greymon, it's 17. This thing can swing over Omni. It's crazy. It's actually nutty. And then Insecurity Check, it's a huge body. Like, Phoenixmon actually is slept on. People, like, ride Implesio, but nah. The Phoenixmon wave is where it's at. 2 Volk. This card... I like it in red a lot more than I like it in other decks. Because I can Digivolve into it. It came up a few times where I Digivolved into it. It had +1 security check, and then I had the Greymon under it for another security check. Again, I'm not a huge fan of security checks, but like when that's all you can do, if it's early game enough, like you might as well. It's worth it, especially since it's pretty cheap. And then 3 Gallants. 3 is the right ratio, I think. I tested it with 4, and I was seeing this card way too much. Because this card you want to see late game. Like, early game 6s are these 2. And then your 5s. Like, you don't want to see this guy till late game. But when you see this guy late game, it blows your opponent out of water. Every time I use this card today, I would usually just put it tapped, delete something, and then like, okay, well, I'm going to lose like 4 memory. Not 4, but like, I'm going to lose like 2 memory next turn, 2 security. And then the Gallant's just going to go for a game or take the last memory or security. So this card's actually crazy. And Gallantmon's actually getting a starter deck soon, guys, in Japan. So we'll probably get it in like August, September, maybe. But I'm hyped. Like, this deck is so good. Going into the future, it kind of fades out a little, but I'll still play it. I'll still make this deck work for you guys because this card's awesome and I love it. As you can tell by my avatar and my wallpaper, Gallantmon is my favorite Digimon. So that's it for our 6s. On to our 5s. Our 5s are kind of like our pseudo boss monsters. These are what we're using in place of like more 6s. And when I do get the Omni, guys, I don't know what I'll cut for it. I mean, like, I'm thinking like maybe one of each of these. But then I feel like I'm not putting enough 6s, so we'll see. We will see when the time comes. 2 Skull Greymon. This card's really nice. It deletes blockers. It's a Gaia Force for less, and it closes out games. Not much to say about it. Skull Greymon's a good card. 3 Metal Greymon. I see people play 4 of this, and I don't know. It's nice. If I had a 4th, I would probably test it with a 4th and do this. But I don't know. It feels fine at 3 to me, right? Because it extends your plays, but it's also weak. Like, if you don't have something to extend with this, and this is the only 5 you have, like, that feels bad because you want to swing with it, right? Just to get advantage and whatnot. But it's so low, even with buffs, and then your opponent's just gonna swing over it. So it's like, why even bother? So maybe 4, but I prefer 3. 4 Metal Tyranno, huge. This is like essentially a boss card. It's crazy. Just 3 cost, swing. It's huge, and then like it can also reach Omnimon levels of number. So you can essentially just hard drop this for essentially the same cost as an Omnimon, And then swing over your opponent's Omnimon. Like, it's that simple. Card's good. Onto our 4s. I'm playing kind of a lot of 4s, but I don't know. We have 4 Corgimons. So the 4 Corgimons is our blocker. You have to play 4. Like, and the only deck I think you don't need to play 4 blockers is probably yellow, and I would still play 3 of it. But that's just because they have the security gainers. But 4 safe number. We got 4 Dark Tyrannomons. Cheap to Digivolve. 6k, 6 body. Like, I don't even know. Generic, good. Turbo. We're running 2 Greymon from set 1 and 2 starter deck Greymon. This is a weird one. I think when I play the Omnis, I'll probably cut 1 Greymon and just play 11 level 4s. And I think I want to convert this Greymon into this one. I was playing the 2-2 split because I said, okay, there's going to be a lot of Omnimons, and if I can take them down early, then that's good for me. But honestly, this card, every time it came up, was more detrimental than it was helpful. Because this card would either get Metal Siegemon back to my hand, which, like, inevitable, that could happen to this card too. But also, like I said earlier, with the security checks from my Tyrannomon, I hit Volcanic, it had like 3, and then I hit something on first check and it died, and I was like, well, that sucks, feels bad. Kind of wish I just had 1 check. So, I'll probably cut one of these for an Omni and one of these for another Greymon. But, do with that information what you will. 4 Guillamon. I like Guillamon because it gives the 1k power if you have 5 or more, again, hitting those magic numbers. We got 4 Agumon, best level 3 in the game. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, this card's essentially just the Drabumon of red. You want to see this card in every opening hand. 3 Biomon, 3 Monodramon. This could be 4-2. It could be whatever. I just played these ratios because I think it's more pretty symmetrical. Probably cut one of these, either the Bio or the Mono for the last Omni. So, again, do with that information what you will. But, yeah, guys, so that's my red deck that I played in the Gyroshon tournament today. The information on the giveaway. So, we are at 140 subs, I think, right now. So, since the last video, we've gained like 10. So, 60 away from activating the first giveaway, which is 1 of each starter deck. And then, when we have 500, we'll be giving away a booster box of whatever the newest set is. Looking to be about set 1.5 when we hit the 500 subs. Maybe even set 4. So, yeah, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out my other videos. See ya.